And hello, welcome to Open, the show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I am Daren, Jaime, and today we'll update you on what's happening in our borough and around New York City. Coming up, we'll talk about how early dental visits can make all the difference for children, especially in underserved communities, and why family and pediatric dentistry is essential in preventing oral health issues. And after that, we'll learn more about a book club for Black women promoting personal and professional development. And then we'll explore the pressing concerns of child poverty and how a local organization continues to help as well as uplift those in need. And finally, we'll break down what you need to know for the 2025 tax season. Yeah, it is right here and around the corner. We're going to tell you how to make the most of all of the available resources. So stay tuned because all this and much more is heading your way. Right now, we're officially open. And hello, everyone. I am Daren Jaime. You are now watching Open, a live program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to you. We also want to welcome our viewers to the Manhattan Neighborhood Network, as Open is being broadcast simultaneously on MNN's channels. You can stay connected to us on all of our social media platforms at BronxNet TV. Some things have been going on through the past week. We'll take you through it with some Bronx updates. And we start off with some transportation news. A new initiative is underway to tackle illegal and double parked cars in New York City. Now, while double parking may seem necessary at times, it can block others and create hazards, especially for emergency vehicles. To address this, lawmakers are pushing for cameras to automatically ticket legally parked vehicles. Under a $35 million pilot program, 150 cameras will be installed in high traffic areas frequent with 311 complaints. These cameras will function similarly to red light and speeding cameras, issuing tickets for double parked or extended idling. In other news, the deadline to get a real ID is quickly approaching. Starting May the 7th, you'll need a real ID to board domestic flights and access to federal buildings. Now, if your New York State driver's license doesn't have a star or a flag on the top corner, it's not a real ID. Now, to help meet the deadline, certain DMV offices are offering Saturday appointments. The Bronx District Attorney's Office on East Fordham Road will be open on Saturdays from April the 5th through June 28th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively for real ID appointments. The appointment system opens late March. Get a real ID or have a real problem. That's all the time we have for our Bronx updates. We have to take a quick break, but guess what? We got more Open when we return.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at BronxNet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express Thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit BronxNet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
And welcome back. While nearly 9 in 10 young children have had a dental visit in 2019, challenges persist with over 30% of high school students missing routine care and nearly 60% of New York City adults at a high risk for oral health problems. These statistics underscore the urgent need to address the disparities, particularly among minority communities, and to enhance dental education as part of a comprehensive healthcare strategy. Joining me now to discuss this is the dental director at Casa de Salud and Acacia Network, Dr. Michelle Witter. And Dr. Witter, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's an important conversation to have. I mean, when you talk about preventive dental care, a lot of people are taking advantage of it, and then yet and still we are seeing a lot of people not.
Very true. It is something that I encourage all people of all ages to come to the dentist and receive preventative care, because preventative care is essential for improving your overall health.
And we normally see, like in underserved communities and economically disadvantaged communities, a lack of coming to the dentist because whether it could be health, dental insurance, it could be just family, family commitments and time. Talk to us about what we're seeing in the underserved communities and how you're really imploring people to get on out there.
You're absolutely right. Time is everyone's enemy, and it is critical that people see the importance and the necessity of making time for their oral health. What we have done with our services at La Casa de Salud is we try and serve everyone. So we start at the age of 3 and up, all the way through geriatric ages, in order to allow families to come together and maybe not take so much time off in which only one person gets served. And we try and treat the whole family during one appointment so that we maximize everyone's time. Also, we are also teaming up with social services and other nonprofits within our community and within our own Acacia network in order to maximize our contact with patients who are really under-resourced or having no access to care.
Yeah. We talk about children, and they're really the primary topic of conversation these days. The fact that they've got to get in there, got to have that preventive care. From your perspective, the importance of preventive care as a child.
For children to have preventative care, it's critical because it helps set the stage for the adult teeth to come into their mouth in their teenage years. So what we are trying to do is save space for the new adult teeth to come in and allow children to have a smile where they feel confident to go out into the world and express themselves and not have to worry about that one extra layer, especially in such a big social media age that we live in now, where the smile means everything. That could be one like or one dislike in social media, as well as allowing them such access. Social media is a great tool in such where they have access to all this information. So we are trying to develop a network of links within our own websites and within our own new social media platforms to inform our patients, especially children, so that they have the basics available to them to understand how to floss their teeth, which type of sugary beverages to avoid, what things can prevent cavities, which also are known formally as dental caries, and how you can floss and how you can brush, and which soda would be better versus which juice. So we're trying to look at it from different avenues in order to make sure that we talk to our patients, talk to our parents to increase the oral literacy for what it takes to prevent cavities and preserve your dentition for the future.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Witter, I know growing up, my parents were very big on this. You got to make sure you brush your teeth And we always stayed away from that C word, the cavity, right? I mean, I was good growing up. Actually, as a child, didn't have to worry about it. And I think, so far to date, I haven't had one. But the reality is, a lot of people, that's not the case. For whatever reason, we're seeing an increase in cavities across America. Talk to us about this increase, and what are your thoughts on why we're seeing it?
I think the type of nutrition that we are receiving has changed since I was a child, or maybe when you were a child as well. And I think that as much as we're trying to be healthier with the things that we do consume, sometimes the different chemistry of these products fight the flora of our mouths, the bacteria that's supposed to be there. And sometimes our neglect from being distracted also plays a role into why we may not be taking care of our teeth as well as we could. However, I think there's so many tools out there now for children and adults to help maintain their dentition, that it's really about making that contact or that first meetup. That's why for us it's important by the age of 3 for us to have our children start having that conversation, even if it's just a walkthrough and a meet and greet, so they can get familiar with our services, get familiar with what it's like to sit in a dental chair. We just want to make dentistry less scary. And sometimes starting from a younger age can also influence a parent to want to come and be part of our care and to restore their smiles. It's just really important for our children to understand that, yes, we are targeting them. Yes, you have parents for the young teenagers who will say, yes, you have to go to the dentist. But as you get older, there's no one telling you it's time to go to the dentist. You have to take responsibility for your oral health. And part of my job is to reach the populations where I'm seeing less adults or less teenagers come in because they have other responsibilities, but they have to put a priority on their oral health.
Yeah. We hear a lot of talk about brushing. We know brushing is utterly important, but a word, if you will, on the importance of flossing.
Yes. So there's been a plethora of new ways on how to floss. People are just using a water pick just to force the bacteria or the food particles that have wedged between their teeth out. I will take anything. I just need you to start a routine of trying to floss. But flossing is critical because it helps get into the nooks and crannies that sometimes when our thumbs hug our teeth, our toothbrush just cannot get to. I am also a big believer in any type of automatic toothbrush because as humans, we just can't brush as many times as a mechanical brush can do for us within the time frame in which we brush.
Yeah. I want to take a look at some numbers here. And, a 2023 report by NYC Health highlighted a couple of things. Number one, good news, New York City children's preventive dental cares increased in the most completed decade from 2009 to 2019. Now, the bad news, 30% of high school students did not visit a dentist in 2019. Your thoughts?
Again, there's a lot of pressure on these children to do so many things now. I look at the children's resumes for when they go into college. I don't think I could get into college anymore based on how much activities they have to go to. However, I think because there's such a reach into our audiences where they can receive information about oral education, it's important for us to increase the oral health literacy of the populations that we serve in order for them to take away this negative trend and bring us back to a positive trend in oral health. As we get past the pandemic as well, I'm pretty positive that we're going to see a increase in the number of preventative dental visits. But that taboo of not coming to see the dentist during the pandemic, I think really scared a lot of people away from the dental office, and now people are slowly coming back in.
And you emphasis on the key word slowly. And as you say, slowly, some are coming, some are not. The operative question. Yeah.
True.
And I guess the question that needs to be asked is how often should a person actually be going to dental visits?
Twice a year. If I can see you twice a year, I think that's a great way to start off. And then after that, if we need to see you more frequently, we will make recommendations to do so. And if a patient doesn't have teeth, at least once a year so that we can check the health of the bone and the gum tissue that support everything that they're doing, even if they're wearing dentures, to check to make sure that they're clean, that the gums are healthy, etc.
Yeah. What are we seeing by way of oral health problems? Are we seeing an increase? Are we seeing an increase in oral health problems since we've come out of COVID? A lot of people stayed home.
Yes, I think a lot of people were grazing at home while they had access to all the beautiful things they may have in their refrigerator and their cabinets. And so there was a increase in the number of dental caries that was prevalent throughout the statistics of 2022 and 2023's New York City health publications. However, I think now that we're getting out again and there's less time to graze, we're eating at more functional times versus just grazing throughout the day, allowing our mouth to recover and have the right pH level, which contributes to whether or not our mouth is going to be under attack by bacteria to cause more cavities.
Yeah. I understand over the last year you've had over 460 patients, over 1,300 dental appointments. Before we go, tell me about some of the common trends that you've been finding, Dr. Witter.
I have seen more cavities that are not baby cavities anymore. The cavities are severe where there's a risk for tooth loss and there's more inflammation and swelling in the tissue because of a patient putting off their dental care for fear of coming to the dentist or for the fact that they have to prioritize something else over coming to the dentist. So what we have tried to do here at Acacia within the Casa de Salud's dental program is try to block time so a patient doesn't lose too much time from their job and not just do one filling. We try and treat one whole area of the mouth so that when they leave, they feel like they had a significant amount of work done, and it kind of builds their confidence. We want to build people's confidence to return to the dentist, be our best marketers, and use word of mouth to bring everyone back to La Casa de Salud's dental programs.
Yeah. Dr. Michelle Witter, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit about dental care and being preventive. I feel really good. I'm going next month. I already got my appointment. This is before this segment even was booked, so I'm on the right track. I'm gonna try to keep it going.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Dr. Michelle Witter, Dental Director at La Casa de Salud and the Acacia Network. Now, if you do want more information, visit the website at theacacianetwork.org. Also visit them on social media at Acacia Network. Encouraging you, don't go anywhere. We've got more open coming up right after this.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And we are back. The Bronx continues to struggle with high levels of child poverty. According to the Assistance Community for Children, half of all families with children in the Bronx rely on SNAP benefits to feed their families. Camp Bronx Fund provides economically disadvantaged children with access to sleepaway camps, fostering academic and personal growth. And joining me now is Camp Bronx Fund's president. We got Linda Chase with us. And Linda, thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, and thank you for having me.
It's a troubled time because when we look at, where we are in regards to poverty, New York State has a high poverty rate, upstate, downstate, all across. You feel this across your doors, really, in trying to meet the needs of families.
Yes, and especially the Bronx. I often think that the Bronx is the forgotten borough. Mm-hmm. What's going on here is that in the southern part of the Bronx, we are congressionally the poorest in the country. And we can't figure out how to get out of this. Now, that's one of the reasons why we started it, because children are our future. We hear that phrase all the time. We forget about it. But what Camp Bronx is trying to do now is to target the children in the low-income communities and show them a different way, bring them into the country, to experience the trees, the people, the counselors that come from different countries. This all expands their horizons, but we need money. And so we run several different we run a gala, we support the community in different ways, and we ask the community when we put out promotions to come and to join and to buy tickets and to donate, because all this money goes to sending the children from the low-income communities. They have to be on a SNAP program. Almost 40% of the South Bronx uses SNAP. I mean, so we really need to target that area and to help those children go to camp, experience the outdoors. Sometimes they're on zip lines. One of the camps now offers horseback riding. These are things that are going to expand their horizon, help their mental health, and make them better citizens.
Yeah, you talk about exposure, right? And
Right.
giving young people the opportunity to have that kind of exposure. Mm-hmm. From your perspective, what has it done?
We've seen it where campers want to come back and they want to become camp counselors. And then they ask for help as they're trying to go through high school. And one of the camps is actually helping children fill out applications for college. And they come back after college and they donate time. So we're creating a community of young people that are appreciative of what's happening and want to give back to the children that are coming up the same way they came up.
For years, you've been able to also have sleepaways, right? And
Right.
sleepaway camp is huge. From your perspective, when you talk about a child's development, have the opportunity to come from possibly the city to participate in a sleepaway camp, the value there.
There's tremendous value. What happens is they get exposed to being outdoors. They get exposed to farming, to looming, to other people. They're now canoeing. They're going fishing. I mean, these are things that in a densely populated borough like the Bronx, they can't appreciate things like this. So spending 2 weeks in that environment really makes a difference. We also want children to come back every year so we can target them. So while we're taking care of that group, we also have to bring in another group. Right. So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money, and we really need to reach out to the community for more help.
And when you talk about more help, obviously that's money. We know a lot of people, economically challenged organizations, are seeing cutbacks. We know what's going on from Washington federally. People are being cut. What's it been like for you?
It's been a struggle, but we have a base group that stayed with us. They understand the need. They want to protect the children in the Bronx. So we have about 4 companies that have really stayed with us through the pandemic, after the pandemic, have helped us get people that are the faces of the galas, and they bring in their friends. So we're lucky in that sense. We're reaching out now more into Manhattan, because a lot of people that grew up in the Bronx have moved to Manhattan. We've had events in Manhattan. We sell tickets. They come, and now we're expanding our community. But we are basically an all-volunteer organization, so a lot of this takes time, and we're developing slowly, but we've been lucky. We survived COVID,
Right.
We've sent over 200 children to camp since 2018. This year, it looks like we're going to go from 55 to 75 children this summer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it is.
So you're up by almost 20, 25 kids,
Yeah.
huh? The impact, when you look back and say, hey, I see our program, I see how our kids interact, and I see how they come out of it. Talk to me about that impact.
It makes you happy.
Right.
The impact on the board. We actually do go up and we visit the camps. We don't only give the money, we want to see how the money is being spent. We want to see if it really does have an effect. And it does. The children are happy and they want to talk to us. And then sometimes we film them so that we can show them at our galas. And it makes the people that donate happy. We've created a community of donors and we've created a community of children. And it's rewarding.
Yeah. And so for people who want to help out, how can they go about doing that?
Well, they can go to campbronx.org. There's more information about us at our website. It also shows events that we've had and upcoming events.
Right.
And you can always buy tickets through the website and donate.
It's hard to think, but summer's right around the corner. I'm like, yeah, come on, it can't come any quicker. I mean, after all that we've had. But for you, I know there's a sense of anticipation and even a little bit of anxiety, right? Because you've got all these things that are happening. You're trying to deal funding, trying to make sure that the kids are actually, taken care of. But when we talk about summer learning, right? And
Yes.
that's huge in the life of a young person.
It is huge in the life of you. And children that come from money tend to do more things in the summer, and they are left with reading lists, and their parents tend to stay with them and sort of force them into that direction. The problem is in the low-income communities, we don't have that push. And so the summer camps will have reading stories. The summer camps will engage them. And we need that to happen because they learn less in the summer and than their peers. So we need to put a push on for that. And that's part of it too.
Yeah, I got to go back to SNAP and government support. How does that play in what you're doing right now?
Well, what happens is the only children, you have to meet a certain criteria, which means at least one of your meals has to be government provided. In this, again, I talk about the South Bronx because the need is there. Almost 40% of the people depend on SNAP, on food stamps, in order to give them 3 meals a day. And it's sad, but when you ask children at the camp, one of the things that they really like about it is the fact that they do get 3 meals a day. And it's really heartbreaking when you hear that.
Yeah. The demographics have changed, right? I think gentrification has played a huge role.
Well, it looks, the buildings look great. We're bringing in more people, but that is not really affecting what's going on with children. And it's not helping them come out of poverty. We're just bringing a new group of people in with money, and eventually, yes, that helps the community. But we have a grassroots problem, and that does not address that.
Yeah. So what can we expect in the future? Obviously, you got a lot of things coming around the corner.
Well, hopefully, we'll be able to send 100 kids next year to camp, or
Right.
maybe more. And we're trying to expand our base. We're looking for more people that want to serve on the board. The more people on the board, the more people we can get our message out to.
Yeah. Linda, great having you here. Obviously, the fact that you're here means it's getting ready to be warm outside, but you're a warm person. Thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations on the great work that's being done. And so listen, if you want to find out more about Camp Bronx Fund, then you can visit there. And more information, go to campbronx.org. That's where the website is. Follow them also on social media at Camp Bronx Fund. And then you can get everything that you need to know, how you can support, or possibly even send a young person there. Encourage you, don't go anywhere. Guess what? We got more open coming up. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back. If you travel around the Bronx, you would notice we are full of small communities, allowing people to connect and uplift one another. Our next guest has dedicated her life to creating an environment for Black women, both readers and authors, where they can connect, support each other, and promote personal and professional development. Joining me now is the founder of Well-Read Sistas, Ariana Gibbs, and thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. This is a good
Yes.
conversation. When we talk about literacy, obviously, oh gosh, in the borough of the Bronx, we know we've been challenged, right? I mean, lack of opportunity. But you said, listen, I'm trying to fill that gap.
Yes, really, Well-Read Sistas is all about empowering Black women through partnerships, through supportive resources for professional and personal development. We have flagship programming like a book club where we only read books written by Black women. We have wellness check-ins, speed friending so Black women can make friends, headshot days, resume clinics. We're really about Black women connecting, supporting each other, and fostering another community where we can really develop and just be great.
And when you talk about, this agenda that really caters to the Black woman, why is that so important?
Because the Black woman is important. And who can support the Black woman better than the Black woman, right? We need to be seen. We need spaces that are important to us, that are nurturing to us. We need to be in communities where we're not just the only ones, right? I come from a corporate space. I was the only Black woman in many corporate spaces. And I wanted to see more Black women. I wanted to connect. And then I also wanted to read more. So here we are.
Right.
Yes.
So talk to me about the opportunity to connect with other sisters in literacy, right?
Yeah.
That when we talk about this, it's not always a topic of conversation because it's not a hot topic. But the reality is there's somebody out there who are reading books, who are connected, who are doing. What are you finding in your space?
Well, it's a super hot topic in my household. Books are always a hot topic. Black women are always a hot topic. And that's the crazy part, right? We know our Black lady canon. We know Toni Morrison. We know Maya Angelou. But there are so many other blossoming and amazing Black women authors that need to be uplifted. We need to hear their stories and share them. Not just stories that are maybe about struggle or trauma, but Black women fishing, Black women hanging out. High fives.
Right.
What's it like? New jobs, new environments, new communities that we're building. That's what it's about.
And having the opportunity to also read from a Black author, right?
Oh, yeah.
The power in that.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Just it's always empowering to look at my bookshelf and see that not only there are mostly Black authors, but Black women authors. I am swimming in books. It is a love language. It's something loving to share with not only myself, but with another sister, right? I feel like it is empowering and makes you feel great. And I want other Black women to have that time for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So, a lot of ladies have like this shoe closet going on, right? They get this large shoe closet.
I have a shoe closet as well.
I understand.
It's next to the book closet.
That's what I was getting to. Yes, I'm talking about. So tell me about the book closet. What's the book closet like?
Yes, the book closet is massive. It's next to the shoe closet and the hat closet, and the game closet because I love spades as well, right?
Okay.
So it's extensive. You can find myriad themes and titles because, again, it's not only about your traditional biographies, right? There are also fiction. There's also science fiction. Anywhere that your mind can go, a Black woman will write about it.
So what's on your bookshelf now?
Well, currently we are reading Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson, and we are meeting on March 30th, which is a Sunday. We meet virtually and in person in cities all across the globe, so that way you can join from home if you want to just hang out, or you can go to a chapter in your neighborhood and meet other sisters, and that's what Black women need.
So take me into the sister. All right. So I'm here, right? I got my book. How does it go down on the day of?
Well, you grab your book, right? You try your best to read 100 pages just so you know what's going on. But even if you pick up the book right before the meeting, we say come. You can get on Zoom. You can go to a chapter in your neighborhood, and you get to meet with other Black women. We have snacks. We have games. We have sisterhood. We gather together and we do our chant, well-read, sisters. And then after that, we bond together and we make other developments. We might become best friends. We might meet our doctors. We might meet our lawyers. It's a chance. It's a space.
Yeah. And that space, how empowering is it for you?
Yeah. It's the gift of my life. I am so happy for this opportunity to be so well aligned with so many parts of my life. I love literature. I love Black women. I love people. I love empowering people to connect and bond with each other. So this is just that happy marriage. And I'm excited for the future.
Right.
More to come. If this is the start, what else can we do? This is 8 years of Well We're Sistas.
So is Amazon like coming to your house frequently? How's it go?
Well, we do not have a sponsorship or a partnership with Amazon, but we're always open, right?
Right.
More dollars. We always want donations, partnerships. We want Black women to become members. We want them to participate in the programs, and we want them to donate so that way they can support other Black women's experiences. So that's really our goal.
So when you find the opportunity to read together, to share together, and then to connect with those stories, what's your takeaway out of all of that?
The takeaway, and there's so many, and it's ever changing, and I think that's the beauty, that the journey is ever changing. And it's important to treasure those milestone moments. And that's what book club and check-ins and being intentional about self-love and connectivity does. You don't miss your moments. You don't miss that great A, that great promotion, or that great book that you just finished.
Talked about books for a minute. I'm going to still talk about books, but a little bit different. I think you can catch on. I got 3 in a possible.
You got 3 in a possible.
No,
You can't be my
I got
partner.
7 in a possible.
Oh no. Well then we can
Then
play.
we can play? Okay, all right,
Okay,
good.
yes,
See, that
yes.
space thing kind of got you going there. Talk to me about it. You also have a spades league, right?
Yes, the Big Spades League.
Okay.
So we are teaching spades, and we are galvanizing fellowship and fun around spades. We say learn to play, play to win. So on a monthly basis, you can find a spades game in your area, or you can join online every Wednesday for a shame-free spades lesson. So that way you can be a part.
Shame-free.
Shame-free.
Because you know, in our
Shame-free.
community, what's
Yes.
that? If you're not playing spades, you're not really. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right,
But
right.
spades is my football.
Right,
So I have
okay.
to continue this tradition. If we don't share it, if we gatekeep it, it won't continue.
Right.
So the idea is to teach more people, connect, make sure that we know how to play, we feel good about it, and that we can continue this tradition for our kids' kids.
There are a lot of people who say they know how to play.
They say.
They say.
They say.
But then you find out. Right. How do you help those people out?
We tell them, we meet you where you are, right?
Right.
There's always space for opportunity. And at every spades game, pickup game, and of course the tournament that's happening in August in New York City, there will be other games. You can play some Jenga, you can have a break, and you can come back and you can play spades as well, guys.
You seem to like be so happy with the fact that you got all these things that are just like going. You talk about working in the corporate sector, but now you got your own, you got your own thing flowing. What's it like for you to like put the corporate aside and say, listen, I'm doing this, and this is what brings me fulfillment?
It's a gift. I think it's God. I'm very appreciative. And I look to find more opportunities to live and walk in that space. This is where I belong, connecting with Black women in a real, purposeful way and sharing the joy. And that's what I'm about.
Yeah. I got to talk about the Saunders Book Scholarship, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Princevilla K. Saunders is and was my mother. She battled with sickle cell anemia, so she passed when I was 6 years old. And so I always look to inspire, but also really nurture her legacy. And so when I was in school, and I went to Rutgers University, Rutgers Camden.
I know a couple of
Yes. And so I did that. And one of my limitations was textbooks. You know, tuition was hard, of course, commute was hard, of course, but textbooks and book supplies. So the Princevilla K. Saunders Book Scholarship on an annual basis helps Black women matriculating to 2 and 4 universities with textbooks and book supplies. The in-between. Everybody needs a book, and those books are expensive.
Absolutely.
A pencil, a pen, any age. If you're a Black woman, apply. Please do. Yes.
How do you feel about, this literacy deficit that we have right here in our borough? I mean, it's huge. A lot of people are, a lot of people talk about it. I mean, I remember back in the day, go out to Bay Plaza, Barnes and Nobles, and that was the big thing, right? But to be honest with you, that was all we had for a while. I mean, like, it's a problem.
It's a big problem. And growing up, I used to camp out in Barnes & Noble, make a little semicircle of books, and stay there all day with my hot chocolate and just read for days. Now, I truly enjoy the Lit Bar in the Bronx, and I'm really happy that that's there.
Yes.
But we need more. We need more opportunities to read. We need more opportunities to meet these authors. And we need to make it not scary, not work. Not just reading because you need an essay or a test prep situation, but for recreation, for enrichment.
Right. Now, here's the way people talk about education. We talk to elected officials, community-based leaders, stuff like that, and they always talk about how the educational literacy rates are dropping, this, that, third. And I just want to say, and I've said, don't get me wrong, I'm on record, I said, but we can do something about this, right? I mean, we can have something outside of the school system that really promotes, like, literacy. And you seem to have, like, garnered and filled that gap.
Yeah, the plan is to make it approachable, make it fun, because reading is
That's half the
fun.
battle, right?
Right? Reading is fun, demental, right? That's what they say. Let's really do that. Let's exercise that. And so I think it's about making more chances to do that and making it very accessible. That's why we have virtual meetings, we have in-person meetings, and of course, we're looking for partnerships and other opportunities to bring the books to where the Black people are.
Right.
Yes.
Ariana, we got to leave it there, but thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Ariana Gibbs, founder of the Well-Read Sistas. You'll see me at the Spades tournament.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wait, we didn't tell them how to find us.
Oh, no, I'm getting ready to tell you, but you go ahead and tell them. Go ahead,
which
go
one?
ahead.
I don't know which camera. Is there
No, go
one?
ahead, go right there.
This
You
one.
tell- right.
Oh, okay. Make sure you go to wellreadsisters.com, select membership, and join the sisterhood. You can email hello@wellreadsisters.com for all information, and you can always email bigspadesleague@gmail.com for your next pickup game. I'll
Right,
see you
right,
there.
right.
And there's a Big Spades tournament in August.
So since you, like, took my line,
Oh.
you see right there, in the prompter right there? Right? Go ahead and read it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just right there. Go ahead.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
Right.
Oh, let me see what I can do. For more information, you can visit the Well-Read Sisters website, wellreadsisters.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
See you in a minute.
That was fun.
Took my line, girl.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit BronxNet.org to learn more.
Welcome back. As tax season approaches, many individuals and business owners are navigating new updates as well as strategies to maximize their returns. Now, this year, the IRS has expanded its direct file program to 25 states, making it easier for eligible taxpayers to file their federal taxes for free. Joining us is the Stakeholder Liaison at the IRS, Yolanda Durant. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Filing season 2025 is here.
It's here.
And we've had you on a couple of times, but
Yes.
really, how's it going for you? Are you seeing more and more people take advantage of the different ways to file?
Yeah, our direct file program is really starting to see higher numbers. So people do like it. They are using it. Our events are being full. So people are starting to listen and really try to push filing on time.
If somebody doesn't know, there is an opportunity now to have direct file. So if somebody
Yes.
doesn't know, let's go over that one more time.
Sure. So direct file, it is income-based and is only in 25 states. New York, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Connecticut are included. So our tri-state area is all included. And it can do basic tax returns. So depending on your income, the type of income, it won't be able to do it yet, we're still learning. It's in a beta program, but we're trying to get first-time filers, low-income filers, a way to file for free.
And for people who are out there right now, may not be so familiar, listen, we say tax season is right here. We want you to be very aware of the deadlines, and so I'm going to let Yolanda take it away. Let us know a little bit more about these deadlines and what people can do.
So the deadline is April 15th.
Right.
If you think you need more time, you can always file an extension. That will push you out to file a little later. However, you want to make sure you're estimating if you owe or if you're going to get a refund when you do your extension. It's an extension to file, not an extension to pay. So if you don't pay on time, then of course you run into the chance of having interest and penalties.
Right. And when you do, you know, those interest and penalties can add up.
Yeah.
And that's when people really run into trouble. And they make this mistake all the time.
Right.
What are the common mistakes that we're seeing people make during this season?
They don't want to file because they owe, and they are trying to avoid interest and penalties. However, there's no way to avoid them. It's better to file and then maybe make a payment plan, make a voluntary payment. There are many different options. You can do a payment plan online, you can come into a local office, or you can call one of the call sites to make a payment plan. And you can start as low as $25. So it's best just to make that payment plan, keep up with your payments as you can. If you can make voluntary payments to help pay it down faster, that would be my best suggestion. But always file on time.
I think a lot of frustration always kicks in, and sometimes even anxiety kicks in around these laws. They're ever changing, right?
Yeah.
And I got to keep up with this, and got to know that. And even if I'm dealing with an accountant, I want to make sure that my accountant is doing right by me. And how do I know that my accountant isn't doing right if they don't know, right? So how do we keep up? And how is the best way to kind of like get in the flow of dealing with these law changes?
I say sign up for our newsletter. As things are changing, we're putting them directly on our website. We are on social media. We have our webinars and some of our presentations pre-recorded on YouTube, X, Twitter. So you can easily find the information if you know where to look. And we do partner with some other agencies as well to get the message out. And in my department, Stakeholder Liaison, we are physically in your communities. We're going to schools, churches, small business, and we're trying to get the information out.
A lot of New Yorkers, particularly here in the borough of the Bronx, find a way somewhere up there in Connecticut, some go across New Jersey, whatever. It's the tri-state area, right? So we do have a lot of people working in the tri-state. As we have these deadlines that are looming, there are also multi-state obligations.
Correct.
So some tips, some information when it comes to that multi-state tax return.
So I say you start with your federal because that information will trigger into your state, so you're not duplicating the same information. You have to understand, does your state have any bipartisan rules with any other states? So that you know exactly what states to file. Some of them will just be information purposes, and then some will be actual tax returns. But if you really need help for the state level, you should be reaching out to the state. And they come out with us sometimes to do outreach and educate. So we're all trying to make sure everyone's filing on the state level and federal level.
Yeah. Got some new software out there too, huh?
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah.
We listen. It takes us some time, but we listen.
I won't even say it on TV. The government listens? Go ahead.
Right. So we do have like a new tool, a document upload tool. So people are saying snail mail does not work. I keep mailing you things. I get no response. So we're trying a document upload tool. So if you receive a letter that says you can upload your documents to this tool, you can upload your documents, answer the questions, provide us the supporting documentations, and then you know for sure that we have this new information. So we can process it a little faster. Right. We also have a withholding calculator. So sometimes when you owe year after year, it could be due to your withholdings. So you can check your withholdings throughout the year. I do it for myself just to make sure that I have enough taxes coming out of my paycheck.
Yeah. With all that's going on right now in federal government, a lot of people have concerns about processing and processing times and things of that nature. Right. Can you give us any insight?
Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait. File on time. File your extension on time. Get your documents ready, whether you do it yourself or, like you said, you hire someone. Stay on top of your documents. I always keep a folder. As my documents come in, I'm putting them in so I know what I have, what I need, what I'm missing.
Small business is huge, right?
Yes.
And we know that's the lifeblood of what we see here in our borough and across New York City. And we know that small business is the lifeblood of America. But yet and still, when it comes to that tax season, very important time. And a lot of small businesses are having a hard time juggling. You know, just to keep, the old days say, we should keep the cash register going.
Yeah.
But now also to deal with the taxes. Advice for small businesses, entrepreneurs?
So right after filing season, we jump into Small Business Week, which is starting May 4th. And that's where we're telling them, depending on how you set up your business, these are the tax returns that you need to file. This is how you handle your payroll. This is how you hiring employee. And make sure they understand the difference between an independent contractor and an employee, especially for filing purposes. So we understand their job, their blinders are, I'm in the business, I'm working the business, and they put everything else to the side. So we're trying to make it a habit. If you start 2 hours a day, it won't be as bad. As your business grows, then your time will grow, but you'll have the foundation to understand taxes.
Yeah. As you talk about what we're seeing in this time frame, right? It's getting down to crunch time.
It is.
Where should a person be on the journey right now?
Your documents should already be organized. You should have reached out to your banks, mortgage companies, your employers if you did not receive your documents. And you should be either saying, I'm doing it myself, or I'm going to a preparer and I have my appointment. Everything now should just be get it done. Organized, researched, and now you know whether I'm going to do it myself or have a preparer do it.
Yeah. And so for people who need more information, what do they do?
Sure, you can always check us on our website, irs.gov. I'm always available, and they can reach me at yolanda.a.durant@irs.gov.
And I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, direct file remains open until October 15th?
Yes, because of people that file extensions.
So you can go all the way up till October.
Correct. If you file your extension timely,
Right. Right.
it has to still be in before April 15th for your extension.
And for yourself, you're out there in the community, right?
I am out here.
Right.
Weekends,
In
nights.
these streets, right.
Virtual.
Right.
I try to make myself accessible because I need to make sure I'm reaching the people where they need me to be.
Let's hang out on the streets for a moment. You know, a lot of people come up to you, and I'm sure there's some people who just have this apprehension. First of all, do you find the people who are apprehensive to talk to you?
Absolutely.
So you have to put on an extra smile, right? Just say, listen, I'm not here to hurt you.
I never force people.
Right.
In outreach, I let them come to me, even if it's to moan and groan, it's acceptable. I send emails, I do cold calling. Some people think I'm a scam. It doesn't offend me because I like that they know that there are scams. So the fact that you think I'm a scam, you're listening to us to be wary of scams. So I don't take it personally.
And you mentioned scams. So how do people avoid scams, and what is a scam?
So we have all different types of scams. The two that I see the most are social media scams, people pretending to be tax professionals, and people are emailing them their sensitive documents to do their taxes because it's cheap, and they're just stealing your information. We all get those telephone, text calls pretending to be a bank, UPS, there's a package, you click on it, and now they're in your bank account, and you have no idea what could happen. But we also help small businesses and regular-sized businesses if they have a data breach. We can walk them through the process of how to protect their information.
And those scams, they're pretty prevalent.
They're not going anywhere. We make a list every single year of the top 12 that we see, and we post them directly on our website as well.
And so would you have that list like that, right? And there's so many scams out there. For the average person, I know you say it's 12, but for the average person, that's hard to keep up. I mean,
I know.
you know, so information and education, you're spending a lot of time on the education side about these scams?
Correct. And we also emphasize an IP PIN, which is the identity theft PIN number that you can attach to your social security number when you file. Therefore, we know you are the right person filing this tax return. So we do emphasize that people should sign up to get an IP PIN to protect their identity.
Yeah. Get that IP pen, get ready. The time frame is around the corner. The
Right.
deadline is around the corner. She's going to tell us one more time the deadline.
April 15th, unless you would like to file an extension until October 15th.
You know, somebody at home right now saying, they didn't say what day it was. They didn't say, you know, there's always somebody
It's
at home, right?
April 15th,
Now, we done
and
told
you
you
have
10
to
times
file
already.
and file for your extension if you would like to go to October 15th.
Did you hear that? 10 times we told you in one segment, April 15th. I didn't hear them say that. I said it one more time. April 15th. All right? Listen, for more thank you, Yolanda.
No problem.
Great to have you. I'm sure we'll see you again. Listen, for more information, visit the website at irs.gov. Listen, I've enjoyed myself. We're coming to the end of our show today. Hope that you enjoyed it as well. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. Most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, catch the recablecast right here on Optimus Channel 67. Verizon Files, that'd be channel 2133, or watch us anytime on the web, BronxNet.org. Of course, you get your brand new episode of Open with my girl, Rena Valentine, on Friday. Wraps up this episode for us. I am Daren Jaime saying, listen, make sure to keep this channel wide open. We say take care, God bless, and hopefully we'll see you soon.